Hi Flosstube, I'm Sarah, Cross Stitch Sarah, here on YouTube and over on Instagram. Welcome to my channel. This is a channel all about cross stitch and I've got quite a bit to show you today. Welcome everybody, welcome if you're a returning viewer and welcome if you're new. Thank you so much. I've had so many new subscribers in the last week since I did my whip parade. And so many lovely comments saying that whoever it is has just found my Flosstube, liked my projects and so on. So I am blown away and I'm so grateful. It's been just over the year now that I've been on Flosstube. So I've had my Flosstube anniversary, I've done my whip parade, and I've gained, like I say, lots and lots of new subscribers. Let me tell you how many. So this time last week I filmed my whip parade and I checked just before and I had 997 subscribers, and I was really trying to get to the 1,000 before my year on YouTube. And I'd sort of said that a few times, and I expected to kind of tip over the edge. It was only 3, left to go kind of thing. Anyway, in the last week, so since last Sunday and posting my whip parade video, I have gained 355 new subscribers. So I've now got 1,352. That's as of about 5 minutes ago when I checked. I can't believe it. So I am so grateful to you all for subscribing. It means I can the channel will grow a bit more people might see it. I really enjoy doing them. I only do them for my own benefit and, well, for yours, because a lot of people have said, oh, thanks for showing me that, and thanks for showing me that. Oh, I've just bought that. Oh, I've just bought that. So sorry if there's been enablement, but I get it from everyone else that I watch. So so there you go, I'm paying it on. So thank you. If you are new today and you haven't been here before, if you do enjoy the video, please consider subscribing as well. Like I say, it just makes me a happy lady. So because of that, and because it's a year, and because I've only ever done one before, I'm going to do a giveaway today. So I am going to do it at the end. Traditionally, most people do, but obviously if you don't want to watch the whole thing, you can skip forward. I will do all the rules and stuff at the time, but basically, I'd like it if you were a subscriber. I think I can probably ship anywhere. So anywhere that the post office will allow me to ship to, I'll ship. And there's going to be, how many bits did I get? 4, 5 or 6 different little things. So nothing massive, but a few little things just to say thanks to my subscribers for being there, for watching me most of the time, all of the time, whatever it might be. Yeah, so that will be towards the end. I've got quite a few little bits and bobs to show you, a few things to tell you. I've got a few notes here. I always miss something even though I've written notes, so I am going to try and concentrate a little bit harder. If you watched my whip parade, I did a little bit of an intro there as to who I am and my stitching and so on. But if this is the first video you're watching, I'll do a little quick intro. So if you've already heard this blab, then you can you can skip forward. But I'm Sarah, cross_stitch_Sarah here and on Instagram. All my details will be in the notes below. So if you want to email me or whatever, then all of the details will be there. I'm 52. I live in a beautiful part of Derbyshire in the Peak District, just on the edge of Yorkshire, really. We're only about half an hour, 40 minutes away from Sheffield, so just on the edge of South Yorkshire. I will try and remember after I've filmed, because I didn't do it before, and put a picture in here of the view from my front door. It is beautiful, and it's such a gorgeous day today. It's bright and sunny. I think it's nippy, it's a bit chilly, but it is lovely. And yeah, we're very lucky. We moved up here from Bedfordshire 3 years ago, where we had a very different view. I'll try and put that picture in too. I've got one somewhere that is literally a comparison between the two. Well, there isn't a comparison really, because one is houses and streets and one is the beautiful Derbyshire Peak District. I live here with my husband. We've been married for 27 years this year. We have one son, Morgan. He lives still in Bedfordshire with his beautiful wife, Bethany, who you'll hear me talk about quite a bit. Bethany is my wonderful daughter-in-law, and she is also a stitcher. And they are happy and settled in their life down there. That's about it, really. I have MS, multiple sclerosis. It doesn't ruin my day for most days. There's a few little niggles. I know it's progressive. or it is a progressive condition, so it could get worse for me moving forward. But right now it's under control. I have 2 treatments a year via infusion. I had one in February, and then I'll have another one in August, which seems to keep any of the symptoms, or relapses as they're called, at bay. So it seems to be working for me, and I'm, like I say, I'm well, thankfully. So having told you that we moved, the house that we've moved into is a 3-ish, 4-ish, 100-year-old cottage. So it needed a lot of work when we bought it. So we didn't move in straight away. We had to have a new roof, or rewire on the electrics and so on and so on. Shan't bore you with it. It's not finished. Shan't bore you with that either. So we actually only have been living in this house for about, well, probably almost 2 years, really, 18 months. We lived in a different place while we were doing it up. So some of the boxes that we moved with 3 years ago are still packed, because I'm not unpacking all the posh glasses to put them away when I've got to pack them all away again when we come to decorate whichever room it is, and so on. So, but we have been going through a few boxes, because if you've been here before, you know my husband is making our back bedroom, our spare bedroom, into a guest room / craft room. I mean, mostly craft room. So he's built me in some fabulous cupboards, and yeah, it's going to make me a desk so I can do my have my sewing machine out, do my floss tubes up there. So yeah, it's going to be great. It's looking great already. Again, I'll try and remember and pop some pictures in of where we are right now, because it's not finished, but it's getting there. So that got me to opening a few boxes and so I have actually taken out of here, after 3 years, 3 complete empty boxes. I mean, there's still a lot to go. But I did find some really old bits that I'd obviously bought with us that had been in the loft. And they're little bits of cross stitch that you kind of what you do at school. So I just thought I'd show you. Look at that. Now, I'm guessing it's something I did. I do have a sister, a little bit younger than me, Rachel. So, you know, it could be hers. It could be that I've just got it for whatever reason and she hasn't. But yeah, there was a couple of these little bits of binker and wool sort of cross stitch pieces in one of the boxes, which was a bit of a surprise because I'd forgotten all about them. Like I say, whether they were mine or hers, I've no idea. I don't think she watches my videos, but if she does, I'm sure she'll tell me if they're hers. And then I also found, well, I found some stuff that I just thought, why did I pack that and leave it packed for 3 years? But we'll gloss over that, right? I also found this little book. So at some point when I lived in Bedfordshire, I did a little bookmaking course. I mean, it's not like a hardback or a spine on it, but it was how to put the papers together to form a book, and then you could choose whatever you wanted. And you know, she'd got papers, I did little bits of cross stitch and so on, and then I used this sort of whatever this is with beads on the end to sort of tie it up. So I've obviously done that little bit of cross stitch on there and stuck it on the front, and then each page has got various things in, from dodgy old photos that I'm not going to show you to little bits of cross stitch and black work. So that little black work, that's all beads in the middle. I don't know if you can see that. And black work. And then this gorgeous little bear. And if I remember rightly, the little bear was a chart in a magazine. I mean, we're talking probably 25 plus years ago. So I was really intrigued to see all these little things. That was definitely in a magazine. And I think that sheep is a Derbyshire gritstone. So weirdly, I'd stitched that when I lived in Bedfordshire. But I was born in Derby, so I was born in Derbyshire, but I'd just moved away. And you can see where I've stuck things in. This is like the glue from double-sided tape, but on the other page, and it's obviously come through. But I'm not going to take it apart. I mean, you know, I just think it's so cute. This was the first thing I ever did that got me into stitching, and I did wonder where it had gone. So it's actually like a needlepoint, like a half cross stitch, and it's on like it's not a plastic canvas, but it is like a canvas rather than Ada or. And it was a little kit that I bought in I mean, like I say, I started stitching in, must have been 1996. So what's that, 29 years? And it was a little kit that was in our then Tesco. So on one of the sort of ends of aisles that Tesco had then, they had like little sewing kits, travel sewing kits and stuff like that. And they had this little kit with this little fish design, and I did it. I remember I went round to my auntie's for some help of how to get going and doing certain things, because she was a cross stitcher. She doesn't stitch now. Her eyesight means she can't stitch now, unfortunately. But yeah, that was the first thing that I ever stitched. So then the next page is just some of my favourite buttons. I've got tons of buttons. I love me a button. And they were some of my favourites at the time. So I sort of stitched them onto a scrap of fabric and stuck that in. Then, look at that little duck. So that's from a children's book where on every page you have to find the duck. Apple Tree Farm books, is it? Something like that? And that's actually stitched on either an 18 or 22 count Ada. So cute. I'm not showing you that dodgy photo. I'll show you the cute ones. So there's a cute one, look. There you go, Morgan. Hope you're watching, son. He was about 9-10 months old there. He's going to love his mother for that, isn't he? Oh, there you go. There's the day he was born. Anyway, that's not cross stitch. Yeah, and then the rest are some fairly dodgy photos that I'm not going to show you. So yeah, that was a really nice little find, and it was really nice to find the first ever thing that I did needle and thread stitching wise. So yeah, it really sort of filled my heart with joy when I found it. So that didn't go in the charity shop bag, but a lot of other stuff did. Right, anyway, let's talk about proper stitching. Let me tell you, I have got some Flosstubers quickly to mention actually as well that I've been watching. So a couple of people who are, I think one lady, Lindsay, is new. I don't think Sabrina isn't new, but she's new to me. So Sabrina is Lady Marmalade in Stitches. So I've only watched one of her videos so far. She's in Australia, I think. But yeah, her video was really good. And Lindsay is a UK stitcher, and her channel is, I will link the channels below. Her channel is Stitching Magic 111. She's only done one video, or so far, and it was brilliant. I really, really enjoyed it. She's got some stitching that I'm doing or have done, so we obviously stitch on similar things. Yeah, she was just lovely to watch, so definitely go and check those guys out. I'm still enjoying watching Sheldon in Stitches. I did mention him before when I first found him, when he'd only done 1 or 2 videos. He seems to be posting quite regularly, and I love seeing his stitchy progress and his gorgeous little dog. So yeah, definitely go and see Sheldon. And Jenny Stitching Simply, Jenny is back. So she used to do Flosstube before, and she's had a very long break. I think they've moved house and had various life events going on. But she's back, so she's got a couple of new videos out. So I really encourage you to go and watch Jenny. She's such a kind soul, and her stitching is just beautiful. So yeah, so again, I'll link all of those below, and obviously I'm watching those in amongst all my usuals, who will also just be linked below, and I'll probably mention most of them throughout, especially Charlie. Obviously, if you've been here before, you do hear a lot about Charlie, who is at Charlie Feathers, Stitches with Charlie Feathers on here, Charlie Feathers on Instagram. Right, so for, I was going to say February, but some of this is from yesterday, which technically was March because it was the 1st of March yesterday. I didn't say today is the 2nd of March. So I am basically going to show you what I have stitched on, started, finished, or stitched on in February, but really since I last did my regular Flosstube, which was at the beginning of February. So I've had 2 finishes in that time, 2 new starts. I completed the Whipgo for my Whipgo numbers for February. And I worked on a total, including all of those, 10 different projects over the last sort of month. So yeah, quite a bit of stitching. So the first finish is one of my hairs. So I am doing a hair a month, and the little hairs are by Wanderling Stitches. And she's got lots of little hair designs. So on December the 31st, I did 12 in 12, and I got a tiny little start on all of the ones that I want to do for each month. And now each month I'm just working through them. So I finished February, which is hair and snowdrops. So really pleased with that. And so far, 2 months in, I've kept up. March is going to be, or is January, is Hair with Daffodils, Hair and Daffodils, which just has the little start that I did in 12 in 12. So I need to get on with that this month. But yeah, that is Hair and Snowdrops by Wanderling Stitches. This is on 32 count Murano even weave by Zweigart, and I've used all the called for DMC for this one. So he's super cute. Then my second finish, this was started in May last year. I don't think I've really worked on it a lot since then, maybe a little bit. But I was determined to get it done before today so I could show you. This is Berry Barn Pin Keep by the Old Barn Stitching Co, which is Sammy. Previously Little Loops Stitching, and I believe that the website where you can buy this chart is also Little Loops, but I will link it below in case you want to go and have a look. There are 4 cottages. I think you can buy them as a pack, not a pack, but like a set of 4, because they're sort of seasonal really. So far I've only done this one. I have got one of the others to do. So yeah, but this is Berry Barn Pin Keep. It's absolutely gorgeous. So again, if you've not been here before, I love pink and I love sheep. So this was like the perfect chart. But I'm not gonna lie to you, that house doesn't look very big, but it was a bit of a beast. There was a lot of pink stitches in that house. So I will put a picture in here of the cover photo. I have made a couple of changes. So I have used my own threads. So I have in my stash some anchor threads that I've just either bought or was given secondhand. So I just picked anchor threads from my stash that match the colours on the front picture. And that pretty much is the same. The thing that I've done differently is the sheep faces and legs were in a grey like in the window panes, but I did mine in a dark brown, so they stood out a bit better. And the sheep in the chart were charted in DMC Blanc white, and I've done them in more, it's a little bit more cream than white of one of the anchor threads. I did write all those numbers down that I've used, so if anybody wants to know the anchor numbers that I've used, I can let you know. And it's on a piece of, not really showing a great, that's a little bit better, piece of 30 count linen by Legacy Linens, or I've also seen it called Access Commodities, so I'm not sure if one of those is the brand, and it's Swiss Cocoa. I love this colour, it's so nice. So yeah, really pleased to have that finished. Just need to FFO it now. Well, or / put it in the box of doom. So they were the 2 finishes. Not because I'm going to have 2 finishes or anything, but I've had 2 new starts just because. So one of them is the Cotton and Twine January design. So you have seen this if you've been here before. I did show this as when it came out and did say that we're going to be doing a stitch along. So there's a few of us, including Charlie, who are stitching this. Lots of them are much further along than me. I kind of got started and then I haven't got round to getting any further. But the design is, so it's a Cotton and Twine box, which is a subscription box by Historical Sampler Company. The design is a collaboration, so the design is actually by Emma Congdon of Stitch Rovia. And it's just gorgeous. And I will be linking Cotton and Twine boxes below because I have got to tell you about the next box that's coming too. I don't have it yet, so I will be doing another little video when I get that. So yeah, I will link all the details below. But basically in the box, you subscribe to the boxes and then every month you basically get a kit. So you get the chart, the fabric, the threads, needle, everything you need to stitch the design that's in that month's box, and you also get a sweet treat, a tea bag and a little gift. So I got 2 here. So not a lot. That's the ing of stitching. So I did change out the fabric, which isn't really showing very pink here. It is a pink. I think it's blush pink, and it's a 32 count Murano even weave by Zweigart. I'm using the threads that came with the kit, which are DMC. They are numbered. And this gorgeous needle minder is by Charlie Feathers. You'll see her needle minders on a lot of my projects. I think they're one of the best and I love them. And she does, I will link her coffee shop below. She does take commissions as well. So if you think, oh, you know, my favourite animal is a sheep, I'd love a sheep needle minder, just get in touch and, you know, discuss with her if she's able to do that for you. I've had lots of, can you make me a needle minder with her on moments. So yeah. The next new start has literally started yesterday. And talking of Charlie Feathers, Charlie and I are stitching this together as a little stitch along. And it is this, which is from the latest edition of Just Cross Stitch magazine. Now this is a design by Curious Carrie Designs, and it's in the magazine, and there's going to be one for each season, and they are mini samplers from the mini sampler series, and this is spring, obviously. So it's really, really pretty. I didn't bring the other bit of paper with the others on, but they did give you a look at what the next ones are going to be as well, that they look really, really nice. So like I say, Charlie and I started yesterday. Charlie actually, just before I started filming, sent me a picture. She's got loads done already, but she did say she'd stayed up really late stitching. I didn't, so I only got a tiny little start. So the very centre is the B, and then I just went up and did a couple of letters before bedtime. So another needle minder from Charlie Feathers. I'd had an order with her for another needle minder, and she slipped that in as a little extra freebie, which was very, very kind. So this is also on 32 count Murano even weave by Zweigart in blush pink, which again, it's not showing very pink, but it is a really nice pink. And I'm using the called for DMC, except one of the yellows, I think was 745 and I'm 743 or something like that, and I'm using 725. It's basically the same when you put them together. There's not a lot of difference, but otherwise they're called for. And I'm hoping, because that should turn out to be like 3.5 inches diameter, and in my haul you'll see I've got some little jars that I've just bought, so I'm hoping that that might go on the top. Fingers crossed if I've done my measuring correctly. Okay, so that's finishes and starts. Then other whips, I was going to do the Whipgo next, but I've put them at the bottom of the pile. Other whips that I've worked on. I have been trying, although I have missed a couple of Sundays, to do Saga Sundays. So I'm stitching Saga by Long Dog Samplers, which is huge. I don't know if you can read that there. The stitch count's 389 wide by 504 high. And I'm doing mine on a 32 count, so it is massive. I love me 32 count, so. And I'd started it in January 2024 and I'd had hardly any progress. And I was chatting to Bethany about it and saying, oh, you know, I want to move it on because otherwise it's, you know, you're going to end up finishing it after I've popped off. And it's really not her thing. So she said, well, how about trying to work on it? So I said, oh, I might try and work on it every Sunday and do Saga Sundays. And she said, yeah, why don't you do that and aim to get it to at least 5% by the end of the year? So I thought, well, that's a fantastic idea. So that's my plan. Like I said, there's been a couple of Sundays, like last Sunday filming a whip parade. It takes a lot of time. I've got, if you haven't watched it, I have 45 whips. So that is a lot of whips to organise, wrangle, pile up in order and so on and so on. So yeah, I didn't get an awful lot of stitching done at all last Sunday. But I had done it, I have been working on it most Sundays. So what I'll do is I'll put a picture here of where you saw it last time, which I think, if I remember rightly, was just the first arch complete. So this is where it is now. Can you see that? So I think when you saw it last time, this arch here was finished, and I might have started some of the second arch. But last time I did do Saga Sunday and worked on it, I got all of the inside of this arch, all the lighter pink motifs done, apart from the last chair with the bird on this side. So then I did work on it on the Monday because I wanted to just get that arch finished. So today I will be working on it, and I'll continue then doing probably the outline, the arch itself, in the darker pink into the third arch. So back in. It's gorgeous. I love it. And this is on 32 count Permin linen, which is quite a stiff linen, but the colour was for me. It's called Pink Sand. It's a little bit darker than that, about there. And then the two pinky colours are DMC 3685 and 3687. And they just look gorgeous together, I think. So yeah, really, I really love it. Just need to get more time on it to move it forward, to get it done before Bethany has to do it. Okay. Then I did do a little bit of work on Miss Teapot. So I'll pop a picture in here of Miss Teapot. It's a design by Barbara Anna Designs. So again, if you've been here before, you know that Bethany is not a Barbara Anna fan. I've got Christmas Cat of Barbara Anna Designs on the go as well, although I haven't worked on her for a while. And Bethany really dislikes her, so that is one that has to be finished so that she doesn't get it, because if she inherits it, she won't be finishing it. But this is Miss Teapot, which Bethany also doesn't like. And this is where I'm at with her. So this was started in January. I started it with, that's a bit better fabric wise, colour wise. I did start it with Charlie Feathers for her birthday in January. And then I did work on it a little bit more in February, but not an awful lot. And this is on a 32 count even weave by Megan at Coffee Craft Fabrics. It's a really nice, well, I thought it was a little bit tea coloured. It's very difficult for you guys to see the colour very well there. And it is using the called for DMC and yet again another Charlie needle minder. She designed the needle minder and matching ring bling for us to use while we're stitching her. Okay, next is the Little Owl Patchwork Sampler. So this, I'll pop a picture in here because it is finished. We have had all the parts now. This is a stitch along from Historical Sampler Company, and they very kindly gifted me, well, the gift box at the time, when this first came out, which contained the kit and various other gifts and so on, a little project bag, a little nerd hoop, sweet treat, various bits and bobs. So all that whole gift box was gifted to me. And I started the sale, but I have got behind now. So part 4 came out, gosh, was it last week? Maybe even the week before, to be honest. And I'm not up to date, but I am enjoying it. It's not because I don't like it. So Little Owl Patchwork Sampler. You can't quite see the top, but basically this border goes all the way around. And it's really nice. And then we've got like a, let me see this one better, quilt star in every corner. It's the same. So there'll be one here and one here. And then each of the other boxes will have either the owl or trees or a tree. So I think the owl goes in one of these, and this side one of these, and then trees or a tree goes in the other one. So each of the tree box, so the owl boxes and the quilt star boxes are the same each time, but the trees are a little bit different. So you can see in this one, those two trees are a little bit different to those two trees, for example. And I think one of the boxes has got a bigger design of one tree rather than two. So yeah, so I've got all the boxes done, got all the outline done, all these little sort of quilt stars, are they, around the house, and the little house in the middle, all done. Just need to fill in the last 6 boxes. And this is on 16 count Ada that came in the kit with all the DMC called for threads that also came in the kit. And this was the needle minder, which was part of the box. Now you can buy this chart. You can go online onto their website, Historical Sampler Company. I'll link them below. And you can still buy it. I believe you can still get it as a kit, but you can definitely get it as a PDF download. And I think in their shop you can actually buy this needle minder and some of the other goodies that were in the box as well. So yeah, if you want to, I mean, it's a lovely stitch. The colours are really, really nice. So yeah, just need to get those boxes filled in. Next is another stitch along, which I am loving, and it is by Stitching Cabin, Hayley at Stitching Cabin, and it is The Great Outdoors. This came out on the 1st of January, the first part. Second part 1st February. It's a monthly sale, and so yesterday we got the third part, and I was scurrying along, if you follow me on Instagram, to try and get part 2 finished before part 3 came out, and I did it, with a day to spare. Go me. So I did get up to date and finish part 2 on Thursday, and like I say, part 3 came out yesterday. So this is where it's at now. It is just gorgeous. So as well as loving me a pink, I love green too. And look at those bears. My husband's nickname is Bear, so oh, although he said that's a baby raccoon. We'll gloss over that. So this is on 32 count Permin linen in beautiful beige, which I actually told you in my whip parade I was also stitching Seaside Tiny Town on, but that was a lie. Seaside Tiny Town is on Zweigart linen 32 count light mocha / mushroom, not this Permin linen. Sorry about that. So it's got a more of a beige tint to the fabric. You might be able to see a bit better there. So part 1 was this very top bit and the mountains and this strip here. And then part 2 was all of this with the trees and tents and the trees and the bears and the clouds. Now, I don't know if you can see on camera, but these little bits above and around the trees are gold thread. Hayley called for a Krynic, and Charlie said that she's using, because she's doing this too, DMC Diamond, and I got myself some of that, and it's really nice to work with actually, so that's what I'm using instead of the Krynic. I don't mind a bit of Krynic, to be honest, but when Charlie said it was so much easier, I just thought, right, let's do that. So the next part that we've got, part 3, which came out yesterday, I'll pop a picture in here. So it's a row of boots and backpacks and compasses, and then a row of gorgeous little foxes. So yeah, can't wait to get going on that. Okay, so that's all the actual whips as such. Then I've got the 2 Whipgo pieces for February, so my Whipgo. I have said before that I'm doing Whipgo. I've put 12 projects on the board, on my board, and they're on there twice. So each number that gets, the numbers that get called, they'll get called twice throughout the year. So one of them this month that was called had been my January Whipgo, and funnily enough, one of them, the other one that was January Whipgo, got called for March, so they're going to be done at the beginning of the year. So I think the first one that I worked on was Big Stitch Big Tree. So this was the exclusive design that Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery designed for Big Stitch 2024, which was a retreat at near Rotherham in the summer last year. Jacob was there, so I got him to sign my chart. He's lovely, such a nice guy, and so knowledgeable about samplers and yeah, the history of samplers and so on. Just a really fascinating man to listen to. He did some wonderful talks. So yeah, and this chart, like I say, was the exclusive there. So I'm doing mine on 32 count linen from Northumberland Sampler House. Now, is it biscuit or sandstone? It's either biscuit or sandstone. I did get it right in my whip parade. So yeah, but I haven't checked this morning. I think it might be biscuit. And that's where I've got. So if I pop a picture in here of where it was before I started working on it for Whipgo in February, because obviously you'd seen it in January, then you can see how much progress I made. And actually I did make quite a bit of progress. and I'm stitching it using a Valdani stranded cotton in the colourway Proud Turkey, which is one of my favourite reds. It's got you can see a bit of variegation if I bring it right in. So with a variegated or a hand-dyed floss, generally you use 2 strands side by side rather than the loop start, so that you get good variegation. But I find with the Valdani stranded cottons, the variegation is too stark for me. It kind of stops and starts too much, like you've used 2 different shades of red or whatever, and I don't like it like that. I like it more subtle, so I do use 1 strand and you do the loop start method, so you still get variegation, you can still see, but it's less pronounced, it's a little bit more subtle, which is what I like. So the linen is a bit darker, probably a bit like that. Yep, I'm really enjoying that too. And then the other Whipgo piece that was called for February and that I completed is this, which is a cotton and twine box that I purchased last year, as you can see, April 2024. I wasn't gifted this, I did buy it. I just love that design. And this is a collaboration as well with Cotton and Twine Historical Sampler Company and Little Dove Designs. So I believe you can probably buy this at Little Dove Designs, or you might be able to soon. I haven't checked. Such a pretty design, the colours are gorgeous, and I'm stitching this on the box supplied linen, 32 count linen. It looks like a platinum, if not actual platinum, very similar, and I'm using the threads that came in the box, which are DMC. And let me pop a picture in here of where it was before I started working on it. I'd hardly got anything done, and I worked on it for my Whipgo goals. So my Whipgo goals are to work on the project that's called for 2 weekday evenings and 1 weekend day. So I usually have a bit more time for stitching on a Saturday than in the week. So generally I'll stitch on it a Thursday night and a Friday night after work and in the evening, and then on a Saturday as much as I can, depending what we've got going on. So some weeks that can be all day. It depends if it's nice, like it is today, for example. We'll go out walking and stuff. So it'll be a bit less time, but still it will be more than in the week, in a weekday. And so this is where I managed to get to. I am so pleased with that progress and I love it. When I picked it up, I thought, oh, this is going to be so faffy, you know, because you've kind of got a flower and then you've got this shade of green and this shade of green. And actually it hasn't been like that at all. It was just a joy to stitch. I've really, really, really enjoyed stitching on it. So yeah, really gorgeous. So that's the whips and the starts and the finishes, all in a big pile that hopefully won't fall over in front of me. So yeah, I've had some great stitching, I think, in the last month since I've last seen you. I will be stitching today on Saga, and then tomorrow, so my husband is out today on a motorcycle double lesson because tomorrow he's got part of his motorcycle test. So he's done the very first part, like the sort of provisional part almost, 18 months or so ago. But now he needs to get his full motorbike license so he can ride on the Isle of Man when him and his cousin go over there in August. But you can't do that on the kind of provisionally, it's called a CBT license. You can't do that, use that on the Isle of Man. So he's going for his full test, but it's in kind of 2 parts. So he's got that tomorrow. So, and again, for those that don't know, we work together and we run our own business. So we work together, and that means that if he's not at work, then I'm not at work, obviously. So to be fair, in my defence, our main work is it's an engineering business. So it's machining. You know, I don't do any of that. I do the office side. So, you know, I'll check the emails and do bits and bobs while I'm at home, but I'm going to be at home and I'm going to be stitching. So hopefully we can get some nice bits of progress on things tomorrow. Okay, so let's do plans. I'll probably do the plans and then the giveaways and then haul, because I know not everybody is interested in what people have bought. They don't want to see haul and so on. So you can just leave the video at that point if you wish, but obviously you don't want to miss out in case you want to enter the giveaways, so I'll do that after plans. So plans are, I have 2 planned new starts, one of which I've forgotten to bring the cover photo. I'll pop a picture in for March, and one of them is out of Oh, that pile is precarious. This book, Cross Stitch Happy Days by, I always say it wrong, I'm sure, Kyoko Maruka. And you can get some of her designs on the Creative Poppy website under the designer name Gira, G-E-R-A. That's the designer's name there. Japanese, I want to say, I think she is. So this book, I mean, I want to stitch most of the things in this book, to be honest. You know, if I have more hours in the day and wasn't forced to work. But Laura from Butterfly Stitches 83 or Cotton and Clay UK is starting a pattern out of here called Girl with a Dove. Just get the right page. And I want to stitch it too. Can't find the page, should have marked it. So I said, well, when you start that, let me know, because I'm going to join you, because I want to stitch it as well. And I already have it. I've already made a working copy of the chart, and I have got the fabric. Well, I already had the fabric, which is called, I've got the cord for. So it's not a great picture. It's a bit darker than that, really. You can see it a bit better in that kind of mock-up-y bit on the other side there. So she's called Girl with a Dove, and she's stitched on, the called for is 32 count Belfast linen by Zweigart in Smoky Pearl, which I have in my stash, so I'm going to stitch her on that. I just need to fish out the DMCs. And then I'm not sure exactly when we're starting that, but it will be sometime this month, in the next sort of couple of weeks, week or so. There is a lady on Instagram, Rebecca, who is at Lofty Makes, and she stitched this, and she showed her pictures on her page of her fully finished, and she'd framed it into a really perfect little frame. So I just blatantly messaged her and said, oh, I'm going to stitch that sometime. Where's your frame from, and which size did you get? And I want to know. So I have asked her this morning, and she has messaged back to say that's fine. So I'm going to put a picture in here of her fully finished in the frame that I promptly went and totally copied and bought 2 of, because there's another girl in here too, so that I can just copy her basically, do it exactly the same. So yeah, so that's a picture of Rebecca's work. The other girl that's in the book is called Stylish Girl. I call her Feather Girl because she's holding a feather, and she is the same size. So I did get 2 of the frames so that when she gets stitched, she can go in that frame too. And she's on the same linen, Belfast linen Smoky Pearl. So yeah, I think they'll look great together. And I think Charlie wants to stitch that one too. So we'll probably do that sometime together as well, which will be really nice. And then the other thing that I want to start this month, which I'm going to start on the first day of spring, is my seasonal pillow. So for every season, I'm going to start a little seasonal pillow by Flossabilities. So that's Lauren and her brother Sam, who does the designing. And she's got various little pillows seasonal. I think there's an Easter one, a summer one. There's different ones. So I've forgotten to bring my printout. So I'll pop a picture in here of the spring one that I'm going to do. What am I going to do it on? I'm going to do it on a 32 count linen with a hand dye cotton, like a Weeks Dye Works or something like that. I haven't fully decided on what colours to do for the spring one. I think I've got the others kind of kitted up in effect. It's just one colour of thread. So yeah, I just need to make final decisions, but that'll be on the first day of spring, 20th of March, I think that is. So that's an upcoming planned start. Then I really want to start, but I don't have it in my actual plans, a particular chart out of this book. If you go back through my videos, I think it might be Flosstube 13, maybe. I did a flip through of this book. It is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I want to stitch nearly all the designs in it. I think there's only 1 or 2 that I'm like, yeah, I really like it, but I'm not sure if I would stitch it, but I still love it. So there's a particular design that I like the best, which is, oh, put my marker in on the chart page. That was remiss, wasn't it? Can't show you that. So these are designs by wait a minute. So they're by Paige Baldwin Ando and Maria Imasheva. I do apologise if I've said that incorrectly. And it's the Quaternion Creations. So that's who they are on Instagram. So this is the Plant Witch. I love that so much. So they've stitched her on 32 count Witchelt or Permin. It's Permin linen here usually when we buy it, or Witchelt is the other name. Lugana, 32 count green Witchelt Lugana it says, and it's just got the two colours of thread, which is DMC 900 and DMC 3371. So I've got this and I want to stitch mine on this fabric. So this is 32 count Permin linen in beautiful beige. So this is the same fabric as the Great Outdoors is being stitched on. And they're the two DMCs. So I just want to stitch it. So that might happen. It might happen because next weekend I have a weekend away with some Stitchy friends. You never know, that could be a new start there. You know, you have to have a start when you're away, or like when you're at a retreat, you have new starts and so on. This isn't a retreat, it's just a group of us friends getting together off to somewhere in North Wales. I'm not entirely sure. I did get a link for the pub next door, so that'll do me. And I've come to it late. So Marie from Stitches and Diamonds, who is also the dyer of Swan Bay Fabrics with her husband, Sarah of Sew Me Sarah, Sally of Flossy Sews and Grows, Kim from Stitchy Squirrels, and Charlie from Charlie Feathers, and I are all going away for a weekend together just because we can. And, you know, they had organised it all, and Yasmin's Made with Love was going along. She was part of the group. And sadly, but kind of good for me, that sounds awful, Yas, I'm so sorry. Yasmin's unable to make it. So her space had become available, and they obviously chatted, I'm guessing. And then Charlie said to me, it's a bit short notice, but would you like to come? So I was like, yes, I actually really definitely would, thank you. So I'm joining that lovely group of ladies for a Stitchy weekend away. So it's all very exciting. I don't think there's any major plans, but yeah, can't wait for that. So we're going Friday to Monday. So I'm sure I'll have some photos and bits and bobs to show you on my next video about that. The only other plans really are the cotton and twine box for March. You can order it now. I haven't had my box yet. Excuse me. Historical Sampler Company usually send me a box early so that I can share it with you guys. February's box I gave away. Again, if you watch my Whip Parade, you know that was I pulled the winner for that. The random comment picker pulled a winner for that then. But I won't be giving March's box away. So let me pop a picture in here of the design for the March box. It is by Yasmin. Yasmin's Made with Love, and I love it. That little bear, oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, if Historical Sampler Company weren't giving me these boxes at the moment, I would be buying it anyway. Because it's just such a gorgeous design. So go over to the Cotton and Twine website. You can sign up to the subscription. It's £20 plus shipping for an Ada box, £22 plus shipping for a linen box, and you get everything for the kit. So you get the fabric of your choice, you get the chart, you get the threads, you get the needle, and then, like I say, you get a tea bag, a sweet treat, and a little gift. So it's a no-brainer. They're really good quality. Their gifts are always good quality. Yeah, you won't be disappointed. So get yourself signed up. If you've never signed up for a Cotton and Twine box before, you can use the code FIRST15 for 15% off your first box. So hop over there. I won't be giving mine away, so there'll be no giveaway that you can wait for, I'm afraid, not from me. I'm definitely going to be stitching that design. It's gorgeous. The only other plan is Nashville. So I guess everyone's been seeing all the releases that the designers are putting out, I will have put out for their charts that they're going to be releasing at Nashville Needlework Market, and lots of websites everywhere, you know, all over, not just here in the UK, are doing pre-orders, and you can pre-order what you want so that then the shops can go and get those charts and then invoice you accordingly. Yeah, there's a lot of gorgeous stuff. And I say to myself, like, these are not exclusive one-off time things. Like, in a few months, they're just going to get released. Like, you can just buy them then. But there's this hype. You don't want to miss out, do you? Well, I don't. So I have, yeah, I've pre-ordered what I want. And I've pre-ordered from the lovely Sue at Peakside Needleworks, who is not a physical shop, just an online shop, but is based literally about 45 minutes away from me in Glossop. And I have pre-ordered 10, I said it out loud now, 10 charts. I think it's 10. I'll put a picture in here that's like a layout picture of all the things that I want. So in my defence, there was quite a lot of pink, and there was the ladybird. Well, it's pink fabric, it's not pink ladybird. And there was quite a few sheep designs, and pear. There's the pear fair, like from October House Fibre Arts. I've done strawberry fair and various others, honey fair, I think, pumpkin fair. They've done a pear fair, and I love me a pear. So I was, and it's a lovely greens, and I was just like, oh my god. So yeah, so there may be 10 charts in that layout screenshot. I've pre-ordered them now. What can I do? Yeah, so that's sort of haul / plans. So I think that's it plans wise for now. So next is, let's do the giveaways, so that if you are not interested in haul, you can go. And then, yeah. So I have, let me check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there's 7 things to give away. These are all things that I have purchased myself. Nothing's been gifted to me. And I just have one of the charts that's there. I have stitched part of the chart and don't want to stitch the rest. And other things are just things from my stash that I don't think I'll get round to using, that I've bought at some point. And I think it's time to pass them on. The first thing actually is something that I made, and it has got a few other little goodies with it. Let me just take the goodies out so you can see the whole thing first. So giveaway number 1 is, oops, she says chucking stuff everywhere, a little notions pouch, and I made this myself, so it may not be 100% perfect. It's got those gorgeous little bears on the inside and lovely sort of flowers and leaves. Vinyl, so that's the back fabric. It's just got a vinyl front, and inside there will be a little tiny tin for your orts, great for when you're at retreats, little ort tin, a little pair of stalk scissors in a case, 2 mascara wands. You might say, what? Genius thing. So Lizzie from this Mrs. Fisher Stitches, who I will link below, gave us mascara wands at a retreat once. And I was like, what? You know when you've had to frog and you've had to rip out stitches, there's always bits of fluffy bits of thread left behind. A clean mascara wand, which you can just buy on Amazon in a pack of 100, are perfect for just brushing those bits of fluff off. Such a great idea. A couple of those. And a needle minder that I had in my stash, which is a mandala bear. This is by Maloka Designs, and you can buy this design. I don't know if that's focusing, is it? You could buy this chart or kit from Maloka Designs to actually stitch it as well. But it's not, it's just the needle minder. So all of those bits and pieces in this little notions pouch. And if you would like to be in with a chance of winning, you need to use the keyword bear, B-E-A-R, as in grizzly bear. For all the giveaways, please don't put any words in your comments like win, giveaway, free, all that kind of thing. I really want these things to go to a stitcher. I really want them to go to a subscriber, because that's the whole point of these giveaways, is because I'm so grateful for everyone that subscribes, from the very first person to the very latest and everyone in between. But yeah, in the last week, I've really been blown away by all your support. So bear, you don't have to write any, you can just put the words. You don't have to write a whole sentence. Some people always, I know in other Flosstubes, people have said that people write a sentence and try and include all the words of the giveaways that they want and make it into an actual story or a sentence. So, you know, it's not going to get you any extra entries, but that might be fun if you do. Okay, the next one is a chart by Country Cottage Needleworks called Sunflower Sampler. So I stitched the sunflower from this design as a little gift for Charlie for her birthday. Now, this is the chart which hasn't been marked. It has been used but not marked. It has all the threads. So there are a couple in floss away bags which have been used. So I think they've all been, bits have been used, but there's plenty of thread there to do this whole little design. And I'm going to put in with it a piece of 40 count Zweigart linen in platinum. And it's plenty big enough. You'll probably get 2 little designs on that. So if you want to win this little kit or kitted up chart, please use the word sunflower. And next is another kitted up chart. So this chart is Autumn Cottage by Plum Street Samplers. This has all the called for cottons and also a piece of 40 count Zweigart linen in platinum. Again, I have measured, it is plenty big enough. So if you want to be in for a chance to win this kitted up chart, please use the word autumn. Then the next 4 are fabrics. They're all fabrics by Coffee Craft Fabrics, so they don't have names. They are just colours. Are they all 28? They are all 28 count, either linen or even weave. I'll let you know. They are labelled, so as whether they're in even weave or linen or whatever. So the first one is this sort of green and grey colourway. The green is a bit brighter than that. It's a nice green. It doesn't look as muddy as that. And this is a 28 count even weave, and it's a fat quarter. So if you'd like to win this one, you need to use the word green. Next is a 28 count piece of linen in a sort of golden yellow colour. That's pretty accurate. If you want to win this one, you need to use the word gold. Then it is 28 count linen again in this gorgeous blue. It's a bit darker than that, a little bit purplier. Yeah, a bit darker, a bit purplier than what it's showing there to you. Hence the keyword is purple, although that looks blue. It's purple. And the last one is a 28 count linen. No, that's a lie. 28 count linen blue. This is blue. It is purpley, but it's blue. Okay. This is purple. So this is a 28 count linen as well. That's pretty accurate, really. And this one is purple. Okay. Shall we just do that quick again? Little notions pouch and accessories. Bear. Sunflower kitted up chart. Sunflower. Autumn Cottage kitted up chart. Autumn. Fabrics. Green. Gold. Blue. Purple. So if you put those keywords in your comments somewhere, in a sentence, at the end of a comment, just those words. If like I say, please be a subscriber. Don't use the giveaway words and all those words that attract people who want stuff for free but don't actually want it. And you will need to be over 18 because I will need to ask you for your postal address. I will post anywhere as long as the post office let me post to your country, then I'll post to your country. And I will draw the winner just before my next video, which will be the beginning of April. So it should be the first Sunday in April, whatever that date is. I didn't check the date, sorry. So you've got till then. Basically that morning I will, that morning I'll draw the winners and announce them then. So good luck, everyone. Okay, if you're leaving now because you don't want to see what I've bought, then thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. And please like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're staying, here comes the haul section. It's not massive, I don't think. So yeah, I have a few bits to show you. Some bits from Charlie, obviously, and various other bits as well. So I did place an order. Charlie Feathers did put on her Instagram that she'd done some spring floss drops. So I was all over those. And they came yesterday, and I'm using them for the chart that I started yesterday that I'm stitching with Charlie, the little tiny spring sampler. But I have only put the threads that I've used so far on the floss drops. But they are a gorgeous selection of spring colours, spring flowers. They are just beautiful. So if you can still get these. You just need to go over to a coffee shop. I will link it below. And also I didn't want to order just one thing. So she designed this needle minder for somebody who'd requested it. And yeah, it was up in her shop, so I thought I'd get me an apple. So those are from Charlie. I also got some other needle minders and various bits. Let me manhandle these. Thread keeps and zipper pulls from it's a Facebook group called Pretty Little Thread Keeps. I will link it below. The lady is Hazel. Hey, I think it's Hazel. And she'd put up some pictures of things that you can order in various ways. So she'd put a picture up, and she'll do thread keeps like that. She'll do a needle minder like that. She'll do a zipper pull, whatever you want to order. So she'd put up these pictures of these gorgeous little sheep. Can you see that? This one and this one. So I got those, which are needle minders. But, you've got to have matchy, haven't you? So I also got the thread keep ring bling in the same design. So it comes with the design that I'd chosen, and a little sheep charm and a little thistle charm. Not really focusing, is it? Where's the board? Buried it. Let's see if I can. They're so sweet. So I got each of those needle minder sheep designs I got in a thread keep bling. Can't really see that very well, sorry. And I got zipper pulls as well for project bags. Let's see if I can do these a bit better. Focusing on my face, isn't it? And when they came with an extra little thread keep, zipper pull, sorry, or thread keep in a little bird design with a little bird charm, which was a little gift. So thank you, Hazel. And they were, obviously I've thanked her, and they're just gorgeous. So yeah, couldn't resist those with those gorgeous little sheep in woolly hats. I mean, guys. So I haven't used them yet, but they will be used. I also have got a couple of charts. Oh, these. Now, I collect my orts. I know some people probably don't and think that's bizarre, but I just like how they look in a jar. So last year, I kept all the orts for the whole year, and they are in a glass jar that I haven't brought over here to show you, which is a bit daft. If I can find a picture, I'll put it there. And they just look so pretty. So I was looking on Dunelm for something else and found that they do these jars. That behind it. So they're just a glass jar with an airtight lid, so you can use them for tea and coffee and sugar or nuts or whatever, dried fruits, anything obviously. But the wooden lid has got a little tiny bit of a lip. Can you see that? So my hoping is that design that I started yesterday, the little spring sampler, should only be 3.5 inches, should fit on there. So these are the orts for 2025 so far. Now I might have to squash them down as we go along, but this is going to be my 2025 jar. I have a little pot that's next to my Stitchy spot that I put the orts in daily, and then when it gets full I pop them into the bigger jar. So each of those little samplers, the spring samplers, the samplers for each season, are all the same size. So that means I'll have 4. These jars come in a set of 3. Guess who only ordered 1 set and then decided that that would be a good idea? Guess what I ordered yesterday? A second set. So they are 0.6 litre. Then there's a brand name that's totally unpronounceable for me. Airtight glass jar. That is the label that comes inside them. And they are from Dunelm here in the UK. So I'm really hoping that those little designs fit and that the other jars come and are fine. But they're really, really lovely. So I'm really pleased with that. What's that? I did get a couple of charts. So again, I think I talked about it before. I've, late to the party, been reading Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, the book. So there's it's going to be a whole series. The 3rd book came out in January and everyone's gone wild, and Bethany, my daughter-in-law, literally read the 3rd book in about 3 days. And she said, oh, you'll really enjoy it. And she bought me Fourth Wing, which is the 1st book in the series, for Christmas. So I have been reading it. I'm almost finished and I have been loving it. I have bought the 2nd book, which came the other day, and it's like that thick. Because I'm nearly finished. So then Bethany had also bought and stitched this chart from, I think it's Idris Studios, which is Wolf Down the Rabbit Hole, which is Jen, I believe. And it's Fourth Wing. And this is a quote from the book. So it says, so it's from the book, and then it's from a book in the book, if you like. So it's Article 1, Section 1 of the Dragon Riders Codex. And it says, a dragon without its rider is a tragedy. A rider without their dragon is dead. Welcome to the Fourth Wing. Now, Bethany has stitched this already. But yeah, I got myself the chart so I can stitch it. She's stitching another Fourth Wing design now. I'll pop a picture in here. She just put it up on Instagram, actually, of where she's at. And it's going to be 2 of the dragons together. And then she's charted herself to go. She bought the chart, but then she's charted some quotes to go with it as well. So she's going to stitch those, and she's stitching it on some fabric that she dyed herself. She's got herself some dyes and had a little go at dyeing fabrics. So yeah, so I'll pop her picture in here. I did ask her if it was okay, because it looks really good. So yeah, so that's a start soon, maybe. The other chart that I bought is from Nathnalu. I don't know if it's all one word or 2 words. On Etsy. And it is Winter Songbird. Oh, look at that. Now, there's a lot of designs on her their Etsy shop with similar to this. So, like, there's a chicken that's got like a floral sort of design in it. And yeah, there's others. And they're really, really nice. So I love this. I love the colours in it. We get loads of lovely little birds in our garden. Very, very lucky. And I have this piece of fabric. Can you see that's got feathers on? board behind it. So it's got like feather design on it. And I got this at the Floss Friends retreat in November from Cross Stitch Bunny's shop. So Lauren of Cross Stitch Bunny, she has a shop, an online shop, Stitch Bunny shop. And she was there as a vendor and a stitcher, but she was there as a vendor. She had her shop and she sells fabrics and all sorts. So yeah, you know, hop over to her website and have a look. But she'd got this fabric with the feathers on. It's an even weave. Did I keep the bit where it tells you? No, it's a 32 count even weave anyway. And I bought it because it made me think of Charlie. And so I sent her a piece as part of her birthday present. And I've got a piece and I'm going to stitch Winter Songbird on that feather fabric, which I think will look really, really nice. So yeah, that's another plan, I guess. Then I also, I don't even know how I came across this. Somehow on eBay, I came across a finished framed piece of cross stitch that I really liked and thought I'm going to rescue that. And then I did a little bit of digging and what have you and found that I could get the chart, but it is from a very old magazine. So this is what I found. There's a bit of glare on there, sorry. Oh, I just love it. It's so pretty. And I was expecting it to be like, I didn't read if there was a size. I didn't read what size it was. But I was thinking it was probably going to be about, you know, 6, 7, 8 inches kind of thing. But it's, you know, as you can see with my hands, it's not massive. It's tiny. Because I was thinking, well, that'd be fine if I could find the chart. What I'll do is I'll stitch it on, you know, 32 count and then it'll be a lot smaller. But actually on 32 count, I think it'll be bigger. It's absolutely tiny Ada. Obviously, I don't know anything about it. It's got to be at least an 18 count. It looks even smaller to me, to be honest. The stitches are so neat and so tiny. And I just love it. So after lots of Googling and shopping around, I found that the chart is in a magazine from 1987. I know, don't tell me you weren't born then or anything like that. I know, I'm old. And it's these magazines. So Anna Berda, Knitting and Needlecrafts. So I found this guy who was selling the whole of all the 12, well, no, 11 out of the 12 issues for 1987. And that design is in the September magazine. So the September magazine looks like this. And you can see the design is there on the front. So obviously there's knitting and crochet projects. There's other cross stitch in here. There's other things in all of these magazines. Some of them have got tatting, I think it was called, lace making, all sorts of various things. And then in the middle, you've got these kind of, they're almost a bit like dressmaker pattern paper, that sort of thickness, of all the various designs and stencils that you need for any of the embroidery and so on. And that's where the chart is, in that centre part. For that. So I was like, oh, I'm going to stitch it and then it will be the same, but smaller. But obviously it won't be smaller, will it? So he'd got them, like I say, he was missing the July magazine, but all the others were in a bundle. So I just had to buy the whole bundle. So then I've gone through them all and there are cross stitch patterns in all of them. And some of them are just gorgeous. I mean, just that one there, just look at that. So pretty. And that design is the autumn design, and there's one for every season with a bird and a basket. I can't remember which ones. The July one I need for the July for the summer season chart. Typical. No amount of Googling or eBaying has found it, apart from a German version, which is fine because I don't need to be able to read German to read a cross stitch chart. But obviously with the shipping, it's a bit pricey for one magazine. So yeah, so the search will go on to try and find the July 1987 copy of Anna Berda magazine. I'll put some pictures in here of the design. So the spring one is a blue tip. The summer one, I think it's called a yellow hammer, and the winter one is a robin. So I'll pop those up there so you can see what they are like. So like I say, I have all of them except the summer one, but that is, and the blue tip one are my favourites, but I just loved that. So I love kind of saving a little bit of cross stitch, you know. I'm going to put that up in my craft room when it's sorted, and I've got a couple of others, I'm looking over there because they're over there, of things that I've bought secondhand that are other people's stitching, from, you know, they're not antiques or antique samplers or anything fancy like that, but I just love them. So I've got them and I've rescued them, and I'm going to hang them on my walls. So the last bits of haul are some bags. So the first ones are by Alison of Oh Sew Alison, SEW Sew, and I will link her Instagram below. She is on Instagram, and she had a bag sale recently. She makes the most gorgeous. I showed you one before that I bought because I think Charlie had bought a bag from her, shown me the picture, and I like literally hopped straight over to the lady's Instagram and said, hey, have you got any more of that fabric? Could you make me one, please? And she did, and she had, and it was all fantastic. So not long ago, she did an actual bag sale on her Instagram. So she put up what she got, and you could say me, please. A bit like Pauline of Sew Bee Bags, of which she did a sale on Friday. May have ordered a couple from her. But these are by Alison. So I ordered this gorgeous little project bag. Oh, look at it. Absolutely stunning fabric. I love this so much. And it's such a lovely little size for a small project. And the inside fabric is this sort of gorgeous green with, yeah, absolutely. And they are perfect. Her sewing is perfect. It's just perfect. Then I also nabbed this little Notions pouch. Look at it. Oh, so nice. Gorgeous little sheep. And there's my little cottage. And she also was selling some book sleeves. So love this fabric as well. Just sort of the same on both sides with a sort of plainish lining in a lovely turquoisey colour. And this fits my copy of Fourth Wing, which is a paperback, but is pretty thick. And the second book in the series, Iron Flame, like I say, came yesterday, and it's even thicker. I mean, it's I don't even know how many, but it's massive. And I was like, oh, it's not going to fit. It fits in this book sleeve. A little bit tighter, but it still fits in this. So yeah, absolutely love this. So if you go over to her Instagram, have a look at what she's got. She's really approachable, and like I say, her sewing is perfect. Absolutely love these. And then the last thing is a bag by, oh, what's the lady's name? Oh my goodness, that's terrible. Can't remember her name. Her shop name is Stitchy. And she has a website and she has an Etsy shop. I got this from her Etsy shop, and I follow her on Instagram, and she'd put pictures up of various bags that she'd made, and she said these are going in the shop now. And I literally was like, I was over there and checked out before I'd finished looking at her whole post, because so this, I have one of her bags already that I bought at the Floss Friends retreat when she was there. This is a big, look at it, size vinyl front bag. This fits an 11-inch Q snap-in, and I just love it. So it's got fabric zipper pull as well. This is a machine embroidery design on the inside, and then it's all quilted. And it's really, really sturdy, like really stiff. It doesn't flop down. She's obviously used fusible fleece or a thicker interfacing. So her bags are perfect. Literally, I can make a project bag, but her corners are just divine. Like, I can't get my corners like that. So yeah, absolutely amazing. I will link her shop below because her bags are amazing, worth every penny. So yeah, had to have that, just had to have it. So that's it. Maybe I'll take a picture of this. And oh, I've got one more thing. Stitchy kindness. So Canny Little Fox, who also makes bags, project folders, and you've seen various ones that I've got. The home case, I've got home cases, I've got multi-pocket cases that I've shown you before. Again, on Instagram, she does a sale usually once a month on a Saturday. Absolutely gorgeous. Again, perfect sewing. Yeah, just well worth a really good value. And she sometimes puts up a post saying, I've got this fabric and this fabric, I've got enough to make this and this, anybody want one making? So you can go, oh yeah, I'll have one made out of that fabric please, and so on and so on. And she put up some fabric with birds on. Anyway, I thought, actually, I really want a large vinyl front project bag, so that's what I really like. And I can make them myself. I don't sell them, make them myself. That would be perfect, because one of the charts that I'm doing is Put a Bird on It by Jacob of Modern Folk Embroidery. I'll pop a picture there so you can see what the design looks like. And I thought, oh yeah, a bird project bag would be great, but I want to make a large vinyl front project bag. I don't want a home case or a multi-pocket or whatever. So I messaged her and I said, hey, you know that bird fabric you just put up? Would you sell me just the fabric rather than me having a case made? Anyway, she didn't get back to me at that point, and then I just forgot all about it. And then the other day I got a message from us, and it's like apologising profusely, saying, I'm so sorry I missed your message, completely forgot to reply to you. Actually, I do still have the fabric. Did you want it? So she'd put it up that it was 2 fat quarters that she'd got. Do you still want it? I was like, oh, goodness me. Yeah, I'd completely forgotten about that as well. But yeah, please, I'll take them. How much? And so she said, oh, no, I'll just send them to you. I was like, no, I'll pay for them. It's fine. And she said, no, because I completely forgot. It's been ages. I feel really bad. And I was like, no, honestly, it's fine. Let me pay for it and the postage or whatever. No, she said, I'm just going to send them to you. So she literally sent me, and the 2 fat quarters are not cut. So it's a half of fabric in this absolutely stunning bird fabric. I mean, it's just beautiful. And I mean, we get a lot of these birds in the garden, and I just love it. And there's plenty of fabric there for me to make a large vinyl front project bag and hopefully a matching grime guard, and I just love it. So thank you so much, Canny Little Fox. Obviously I have said thank you, but yeah, that was so kind, and I was more than happy to pay for it. But yeah, absolutely perfect. That is now it. I should take a photo of the state of this and put it in as well. There's just piles everywhere. So that's it. That's all my stitching, all my waffling, all my haul, plans, the lot. So I will see you next time. Don't forget, if you're interested in any of those things in the giveaway, to use the relevant keywords, and I will pick a winner next time, which will be about a month. You probably will see another video from me in between, because I'm hoping that the cotton and twine box will come, and I really want to show you guys everything that comes in that, so you can see what you're signing up for. You can see the design on their website, but it tells you what you're going to get, but obviously you can't see the other bits and pieces. So yeah, but like I say, don't hang out for a giveaway on that one, because I'm not giving it away. I love the design too much for that. So yeah, I'll probably come on in the middle and in between and do a little video of unboxing that. But for now, I'm off to, I was going to say I'm off to stitch. Obviously I'm not, because if you can see the state of this room, it's not just the table, it's all the empty project bags over there on the sofa that you can't see as well. I need to do a big clear up, and then I can get my stitching out and stitch on. So thank you so much for watching if you've stayed to the end. And if you haven't, well, thank you anyway, but you won't be seeing this. And I will see you all next time, hopefully. So happy stitching. Bye.